Thank you, everyone, for joining us for this episode of This Ability Podcast. I'm your host, Mary Baudouin, and joining us today is Mary Frances Avera. Mary, glad that you could be here. So tell our audience a little bit about yourself.
My name is Mary Frances Avera. I'm actually from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, right now in Baton Rouge. Just got a job today in Baton Rouge Pet Plaza. It really is.
What are you going to be doing there?
Cleaning, taking dogs out, feeding them, doing daycare. So my hobbies are taking long walks with my dog or new puppy, playing with her, seeing friends, taking golf cart rides around my neighborhood or around my house, hanging out with family.
Now, you're going to be working at a place that you're going to be surrounded by dogs. I'm presuming you're a dog lover.
Yes, ma'am.
Have you always had animals your whole life?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. I actually, throughout my years, I had cats, dogs, rats, geckos, chickens. Had 3 chickens. Duck. Every Easter, we get ducks for Easter. It's our tradition. Turtle, fish. I mean, it was like baby turtle, flying, pond, and things.
That sounds great. So let's go ahead and talk about the first thing I have on our list is health. What condition are you diagnosed with, and when did you find out about it?
So we found out I had ZMI. Z1 call is related to neuron development disorder. It was a weird thing. I didn't really recognize it. I did not have Down syndrome. We thought we had it, but we never did. It was did not know, because all throughout my life was hearing impaired, vision loss, heart defect. I wear glasses every day. Difficult to learn, I figure out.
If someone is listening to this episode and they just found out that they have the same diagnosis as you, what would you want them to know?
To me, to tell y'all it is very rare disorder. I didn't know how long it took to find this out. I want them to know about my disability is very rare. I mean, nobody talks about it. The most that we talk about in disability is autism, Down syndrome, some other disability that we heard the most, but we don't really talk about other disabilities.
Let's talk about your faith. How important is faith to you in your life?
So yes, faith is very important in my life. Definitely in a big role. To Christian music every day. Every other day. I go to church every week, meaning up every Sunday. I listen to some prayer readings, like I go through readings. Also, I listen to podcasts. And then recently, about a year ago, I went to a conference in St. Louis, Missouri called Seek.
Okay.
And I actually love it. One of my favorite priests, who's actually from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, went there, and he's a great priest. His name is Father John Johnson. He did so many things in church. He does so much hearing. He's one of the best speakers ever.
You've been raised a Catholic?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you attend a Catholic school, if I'm not mistaken?
No. So actually, yes, when I was little, called St. Aloysius in Baton Rouge, kindergarten through 2nd grade there, and then I went through public school. But I actually, when I was in college, I attend Our Lake Wisdom, or they call it Raising Cajun Catholic, in Lafayette. And I love it. I go a lot of events. I go there, Connect retreat, Encounter retreat, different retreat. It's fun.
That's great. So when you went to Seek, you found out more information about your
Yes,
Christianity, and did you get to meet some new people?
Yes,
Make
ma'am.
some new friendships?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, that's great.
I mean, I've met so many people there. Actually, one of the group in the Seek conference, or the Seek, they had one little section was for only Greek. So it's for like sorority,
Fraternity.
Okay. And then I met so many people from Tri Sigma, and their culture and everything is so nice. So I can tell they're learning so much. I was pretty scared. I know, I'm not scared to meet people, but I'm also scared to what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I think on some level, many people are a little intimidated to approach somebody new, but 9 times out of 10, you find that you can just find something in common with that person, get to know them a little better, and never know, make a new friendship.
Yes, ma'am. About 2 years ago, I actually did my first confirmation, and it was actually a great thing I did. It was fun, it was exciting, and one of my favorite saints of all is Mother Teresa.
Okay.
Yes. And a lot of people tell me that Mother Teresa come to Lafayette, but also one favorite part of I hear is Mother Teresa came to Baton Rouge in the church called St. Agnes in Baton Rouge, and she sat there, and there's a little card, or not a little card, but a little something, and it said like, "Oh, I sit here."
Oh, like a plaque.
Yeah, a plaque. And every time I walk there, it makes me feel joyful.
That's great. Yeah, because she was there in that
Yes.
spot. Why is she your favorite saint?
Because she makes me laugh. I can see small things. I don't remember what the quote said, but I remember if I see it, and it's so beautiful.
That's great to have a favorite saint. Let's talk about your education. What teachers have you taken classes with that have made a positive influence on your life?
So I have two, but I'm actually going to do two. One of them is Dr. Kellen Judichit and Dr. Donald Watson. One of the best teachers I ever had in the college. They taught me so many things.
Now that's at the university here in Lafayette?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What did they teach you? What do you remember?
So one of them taught me like different things, social skills, different things. I don't remember off my head, but one of them, Dr. Woozy, she taught one of our classes. It was freshman year or sophomore year. She taught me a computer class, like not a computer class, but something about a job.
Yeah.
And something so cool. And she just taught us so many things about writing or like emails and stuff.
Yeah, professionalism.
Yes, professional
in writing. That's great. That's great. That certainly comes in handy.
Yes.
And you also, when you were at UL, you were through the LIFE program, which stands for Learning is for Everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
Last year, I recorded a podcast interview with Jade Viatar and Caroline Bilodeau from the University of Louisiana at Lafayette LIFE Learning is for Everyone program. Here are a few excerpts from that interview so you can hear what the program has to offer.
There are two aspects of the academic portion of the program. The students, they audit UL LIFE classes, which are classes within our program that are functional academics. Those are things like self-advocacy, social skills, career readiness. And the other aspect that involves academics is that the students audit UL courses. They are fully inclusive. They are with other UL students. They are paying to audit these classes. They are taking classes within their focus area, which ultimately lead to their career goals. And
we teach career classes, like Jade said. So those are in, every year a student is taking at least one career class within our program. And that's really to help hone in on those skills like emailing, workplace etiquette, how to communicate with coworkers versus bosses versus customers. We role play and we practice these things and make sure that they're ready to be in the workforce. Using that aspect of the program, we put them in internships. These are all student chosen. The internships are really based on what they want to do after graduation. Like traditional college students, they don't always know. They can start in one aspect and then move different things to try to test out other ideas that they have. So we're not choosing an internship for a student, and two, we're not making them stay in that internship. They want to try something else out. But students they start on campus. We have so many on-campus partnerships like the Career Closet, the academic departments, the library, our fitness centers. Anywhere on campus, students really have been welcomed and embedded as student workers.
Our independent living component has grown tremendously over the past few years. We have independent living classes where we're teaching students how to live independently and what that entails. We also have our students living in the dorms, and so they are able to take what they learn in those classes and applying them to their lives on a regular basis. We have about half of our students. I think this year we'll have 21 or 22 students living in the dorms. So over half. We also have a life skills lab in our building, which has been amazing for teaching our students independent living skills such as cooking sessions, have a fully equipped washer and dryer, dishwasher, sink, all the things you would have in your kitchen. So they are learning all the skills needed to live in with all those tools. Also have computers there for they can access those computers and use that for different business type skills, copying, making, printing out things, different, tasks like that. They would also be doing in the workplace. But yeah, so that skills lab has been really great for classes. They can take what they learn in the classes, apply them to the skills lab, and then applying them at home if they live at home, or in the dorms if they live there. So yeah, it's been amazing. All of our information can all be found on our website, which is basically go to the UL website, louisiana.edu, search UL Life. First thing that comes up is our page. Our social media, we are on Facebook and Instagram, UL Life. And then, anyone that's interested learning more about the program, if the website doesn't have the answers, our email is on there to contact us. But also the preview days those dates will be listed fairly soon, hopefully, for the fall. And we always encourage people who are interested to attend preview days.
And now back to our interview with Mary Frances. So tell me what that program was like for you.
When I was there, I went there in 2019. I applied there. I came on campus. It was actually a new experience. It was a new culture. It was a lot of new things. I was actually pretty scared.
Were you? Okay.
I did not know what it looked like. And when I first came in there, I was pretty happy about it. One of my favorite things about Lafayette, or call it the UL Life program in Lafayette University, is their culture. Their culture is Cajun French.
Yes.
And I love Cajun French.
That's the culture here. There's some great food.
Yes.
What's your favorite thing to eat in Lafayette?
Gumbo. Crawfish, shrimp, gumbo.
Gumbo is my favorite, especially when it's nice and cold outside.
Yes.
Nothing like some good gumbo and rice in it.
Yes, ma'am.
I know that as a student, the Life program, it changes people for the better. You get to meet a lot of new people and you get to learn a lot of great things. Would you recommend the Life program itself to other people?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, I would recommend other students to attend this program because it has so many things to do and learn about the new culture, the history of the university. Because there's so many things about the program, teach you so many things. Dance, or here's about this. You could go to a game. You could go to any kind of event. I was actually in a lot of events this year.
That's great.
Yes,
to get out there and do things
maybe
that you wouldn't have done otherwise. Yeah. Whenever you were in the Life program, I'm sure they also had, I know they have internships or places that you can work. Do you find that the skills that you learned at UL helped you to get the job that you've gotten today?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, it does, because pretty much like learning from the college helps you to get into the world, learn to be independent, how to learn to do stuff independently, especially when you looking for a job. You do your own, you look for your own, you go look online to go find a job, do your own interview, and be patient. And yes, it will take time to do all this stuff, but when you just keep positive, keep going, and you will get there.
That's awesome, Mary. Are there any fun facts about yourself that you would like our audience to know? And she says this and she's giggling, so I can't wait to hear her answer.
I actually have two fun facts.
Okay.
One is I actually have, when I was little, before or after I was born, I actually had 6 fingers. It was pretty cool.
On which hand?
Left hand.
Left hand.
So
okay.
When about a couple of years later, I had surgery and now I have 5 hands.
Okay.
Or 5 fingers. So that's one of them. And then another one, I actually have 3 chickens. Get eggs from them.
So do you sell the eggs?
No, ma'am. No.
You just use them for cooking and all that?
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
What are the chickens' names?
I don't remember.
You just chicken 1, chicken 2.
Chicken. But, and also, this past year, I have another fun fact.
Okay.
This past couple months, I actually got a new puppy. Her name is Pearl.
Pearl?
And she's a golden doodle.
Oh, golden doodles are so beautiful.
I know. I hear so many things, and she's still learning, and I love just learning to potty train.
Yeah.
Don't jump on people.
Right.
Just don't bark when it's just, nothing out there. Cause she's learning so much.
Good. That's great. And you enjoy spending time with her.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. And get to train her. It takes a lot of patience
Yes,
to
ma'am.
train
And
an animal.
Yes, ma'am. That's very true. Because, it's like I get mad at her. She's still learning.
And dogs are always happy to see their owner,
Yes.
right?
Yes,
She'll
ma'am.
never get mad at you.
No.
You might get mad at her, but
Yeah.
she'll never be mad at
No.
you. She's going to love you unconditionally.
Yeah.
Isn't that a good thing?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, Mary Frances, it has been a pleasure to interview you. Are there any topics that we did not talk about that you would like to talk about?
One thing is during college, just have fun. Just, life is too short to do craziness, but just life too short and then be happy about it.
It is. Life is very short, and that's a great
never
way
give
to
up.
close out the show.
That
Mary?
is my motto.
I love it. All right, everybody. Well, thank you for listening to this edition of This Ability Podcast. If you enjoy listening to our podcast, be sure to like our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel for our video podcast for updates and new episode postings. Goodbye, everyone, and thank you for listening. Help us grow our audience by subscribing to our podcast on iHeartRadio, Spotify, YouTube, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, and other podcast networks. Additionally, if you enjoy listening to our podcast, help us to be discovered by leaving a rating or review of our episodes. This will connect us with other potential listeners and help us to expand our audience. From all of us at This Ability Podcast, we thank you for your ongoing support of our mission to unveil stories that inspire and enlighten others in the special needs community.